Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual Jforex, I will be continuing to use the indicator balance of power to demonstrate how we can use this indicator block to design and develop the simple algorithm. So let us now get started. We will be heading back to the Visual Jforex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA, and on which I have developed this setup so far. In the prior sessions, I had completed this instrument subscription. Then the position amount was defined at 0. The balance of power indicator blocks were brought in with this 4 hourly time period for the candlestick, and along with that there's two BOP of 15 minutes each. Look at the price action, the price moves. We are also relying on the 4 hourly and 15 minutes historical candles, and to pinpoint the exact entry point, these 10-second candles will also be used, and also to define one of the condition in which we want to make sure that there is immediate momentum on the side of the trade. We are also going to use this historical block of 15 minutes with the look back period of 2. Then I had defined the conditions for the execution of the buy trade. So I will not be going into the details of this condition. Today's session is now going to be dedicated to adding the sell side requirement. What are the conditions which need to be in place for the execution of the sale trade? So we will be focusing on that, and to explain to you the logic behind the execution of the sale trade, I will be taking you back to the chart of the Euro USD and this 15 minutes chart. And for the execution of the sale trade, we want, first thing first, we will be taking into consideration the balance of power output value on the 4 hourly time frame, and here we want last 4 hourly balance of power output to be below 0, and not the penultimate one, the balance of power with the look back period of 2. That output should have been above 0. So we will have 8 hours window, as we are going to use the balance of power indicated block of the look back period 2 for the 4 hourly time frame. So we will have two next succeeding blocks which we can use whenever the conditions are in favor. Whenever the output value is below 0, that means the momentum is now turning bearish, the balance of power is shifting in favor of bears. We can go for the sale trade. So that is the logic behind that. So I think this time around it won't be fulfilled, so we will have to look for other instance where this might have been the case. So somewhere here, I think here it might be. So 5. So this 4 hourly candle in this time frame, the order execution can happen if we also have 4 hourly 15 minutes balance of power output values as per the desired criterion, and here the same logic is going to apply. We will need the immediate balance of power output value of last 15 minutes to be below 0, and the penultimate one should be above 0. So whenever the momentum shifts from bullish to bearish, we will look for the execution of the sell trade, and also to make sure that there is the price action which is also on the same side. We also going to set additional conditions that the 15 minutes candle last one should have closing value below its opening value, and its closing value should also be below the opening value for the prior candle. So we are going to use that condition also along with the 15 minutes. We also rely on the 4 hourly historical candle, and for that also we want its closing value to be below the opening value. So now we head back to the Visual Jforex board, and here I will bring in the if blocks. We are going to need 9 of these. For the time being, I will bring 6, or let us add all 9 at the same time, and then it will be open at market order. Okay, now let us start defining the values in relation with each other. So we need the last BOP's output value to be below 0. So here it will be first input less than second input, and the balance of power penultimate, not penultimate, this is with shift value of 3. So two 4-hourly blocks are going to be in between the current one and this one, and this should have been above 0. That means the momentum has shifted on the bearish side newly. And now we turn our attention to the lower time frame. Here this 15 minutes balance of power output value should also be below 0. First input less than second input, and balance of power output with loopback period of 2 should have been above 0. First input greater than second input, okay. And now we turn our attention to the get historical candle comparisons, and we will first define the conditions using the closing and the opening value for candle 18, and the candle 18's closing value should be below its opening value. Default variables, close, and this is opening. First input less than second input, now candle 19's closing value should also be below its opening value. And Candle 20 and 21 we will use later on to do the comparison between these closing values with the candle 19. Now, one addition condition is that we need to compare the candle 19's closing with the candle 24's opening value, and this also needs to be lower. Candle 19's close needs to be lower than its opening value. Okay. Let us see how many blocks we have utilized so far. All right. Here, first input less than second input, and now the exact entry point. Whenever the price drops below last 15 minutes candle closing value, we will look for the execution of the sell trade, and for that we will do the comparison of this candle 20's close with candle 19's close. It should be below, but prior to that the candle 21's closing should have been above candle 19. So we are going to use candle 19's closing value as the second input in both these blocks, and along with that candle 21's close should have been greater, first input greater than second input. And here it is. Now we will join it to open at market, and this should be first input less than second input. And now we have to also define these parameters. It should be sell, default instrument, remain as it is, not amount, I will make it to 0.1 million, slippage I will change to pips, and given the fact that we are working on a lower time frame, I think the stop loss and target price should be sharp, and that means I think stop loss of around 10 pips and take profit of 20 pips with the risk reward ratio being 1:2 should be good enough. So I think this combination can be used. Let us now arrange this, and then we will define the stop loss and target price for both the sides, buy and sell. I'll join this. market flow. And here in both these blocks, the parameters need to be defined, and this is going to be 10 pips, and the take profit is going to be 20 pips. So with this, we are almost ready to run this algorithm. First, in the historical tester to see whether it executes the trade as per our requirement or not, and then the second condition would be to see if it is profitable in the longer term. So you can test this algorithm on the Jforex platform, and there you can use the different time horizons to see how it has performed in the past, and depending on that you can look for the additional adjustments, or then if it is good enough you can use it on the live account also. So that's it from my side for today's session. I thank you all for joining in. Do subscribe to the Dukascopy webinar channel, and that will help you enhance the understanding of this platform, and you can design and develop the algorithms using different indicators. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.